I was at the restaurant. I was very hungry. I couldn't pay my bills. I didn't have any money. I had a table by myself because I had fleas. I got the waiter's attention. The waiter was Chinese. I was asking if there was anything that I could do to pay my bill. He just looked at me because he wanted me to pay my bill. That's what we in the business know as Riz. Anyway, this may not be a first impression, first glance, but one of the topics that I am incredibly interested in is relationship advice, and dare I say it, even relationship-based science. Normally I hate science, but I think that relationships are a very important decision. My parents separated when I was quite young. I think that making a poor choice in that regard is one of those things that can really, really impact your life in a bad way. And it's honestly kind of horrifying just how so many people just kind of seem to pick their partners at random. But, actually, so in China and India, again, traditionally they do this more so than we do, but even nowadays they actually use astrology very heavily. But, they have a different system of astrology. Like in China, astrology, your zodiac sign is based on what year you were born in. So a person could actually be really compatible with somebody on the Chinese system, but maximally uncompatible with them on the Western system, the same person. And, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I think that theoretically speaking, the maximally compatible person on the Chinese system is 60 years younger than you. So that's something to think about. Anyway, I personally am a Riz master, and I hope I don't understand Gen Z slang no cap. I just use it because I think it's funny. But, you can't just measure Riz success in how many times does it succeed, but also it's good that it fails. You have to filter out people. I think generally speaking, compatibility-wise, my type is me. I am my own type. I'm not gay, but homo means same, and I'm homosexual in the sense that I'm really attracted to myself, but I'm not in a gay way. But anyway, yeah, so the things I say, people say that's a really bad Riz, that Riz doesn't work at all, but it would be really, really effective on me, and it's really, really, really ineffective on everybody else. And that's really the best kind of Riz, it's targeted Riz. One big thing of relationship advice that I read about a lot is it's important to have an idea of what you actually want going before you even go in. You can get into a lot of bad situations by not knowing what you want. And so just, when you're going out there talking to people, just imagine that you're talking to the person that you would want to be talking to. And if you're not, great, because you're probably going to do really, really terribly, and they're probably not going to want to talk to you again, and that's exactly what you wanted. But, one of my friends, he kept trying to get me to go to a nightclub with him to meet people that were similar to me, and really I wouldn't be at a nightclub, and so there's no way I can do that, and I won't talk to people either. I do not. I know I often say that I talk to people, but I don't. I'll go 6 months. There's usually a 6 months gestation period before I say anything to somebody, and that's why it really frustrates me. And people are like, well, if they were interested in you, they would say something by now, and I most certainly would not. Now I need to remember, I never script any of my videos. I need to repeat that. I can just make a part 2 if I have anything else to say, but I think that's the most important takeaway, is the best Riz is the Riz that it only works on the 1%. You need to be targeted. You need to decisively secure. You're probably just going to decisively secure a restraining order, but ideally decisively secure the 0.01% of people, because they'll probably be very refreshed that you're willing to be unorthodox, maybe. I haven't actually succeeded in any. This one time in high school, there was this one girl with who had pink hair and a guy name, and I thought for sure she was a lesbian. And one day she was like, man, I wish somebody would go out with me. And I just sat there thinking to myself, man, I sure do feel bad for that lesbian. And she tried to hold hands with me once, and then this one time I ate her contact lens because she took her contact lens out and she told me to eat it. and I did, but when she wasn't looking. But anyway, looking back, I don't think that she was a lesbian, but that was a few years ago now. Okay, yeah, if I have any more helpful relationship advice to give, I'll make a part 2, because I don't want to just kind of ramble. I mean, I do kind of want to ramble. Again, just making friends. This shouldn't just go for relationships. This goes to friends too. Just go to people and act like you're already best friends with them, and just do the stuff that you do, because if it's going to be a problem, it's easier to just get it out of the way. Most of my experience with relationships in the past is just a really long fiasco, and it's like, gosh, I don't know if this is a good idea, and then you find out some information, and it's like, yeah, okay, I can't vibe with that, and then I just wish that I would have done that way sooner. So I just like telling people everything about myself as soon as possible.